What's up, people? Welcome back to the show. Yeah, man. Welcome everyone to the coach's desk. I am your host. Yeah, Coach Minzy. Yeah, man. Happy holidays to everyone. Yeah, man. Trusting that everybody is doing well and everybody is doing all right. We're just here to give some quick info on what is transpiring with few of our players. Yeah. Yeah, man. Waiting on some people to come in. Big up to the persons on Facebook. Welcome to the show. Those who are watching on the watch back, big up yourself. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, you know the golden rule, people. Yes, the golden rule is that you like the life, and that's basically you know, getting yourself into the arena by sanitizing. All right. So we're in a different setting this evening. Man, okay, we try to change up the thing, yeah. So we are trying a different avenue, a different room, using our phone this time around. So a lot of the things that you probably would see, the style and the flavor, yeah, man, that can be brought up too. But yeah, man, big up to all the people who are on. And before we go any further, of course, you'll be getting a little style and flavor. Just to welcome everybody, give a few more persons the time to come in. So, we'll be right back.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
All right, so welcome back to the show, people. Big up to all the persons who are in already. Just remember the golden rule to hit the like button. That's a free way to show your support to the coaches. Just touch the like, the thumbs up button. That's an indication that you are in the arena, you are supporting, and you are sanitized. Yeah, man, I trust that everybody would have enjoyed their holidays just now. You know, parts of the world, it is winding down. In Jamaica, it is winding down. But we get a double opportunity to celebrate Boxing Day, because today is a Sunday. They normally say no holiday is celebrated on a Sunday. Hence the reason why tomorrow will be officially Boxing Day for the Jamaicans. So big up to the Jamaicans, big up to the persons in the diaspora. And definitely, I want to have a quick show, people. You know, yeah. As you know, this weekend is should have been the full-blown triple treat, but this weekend is one that is celebrated as a family weekend. Yeah, and as I stated last evening, I only gave you 15 minutes worth of show. If you're listening keenly, you can hear a lot of noise in the background. It's not the usual, soundproof setting that would have had, because it's family time. Families are over and they're actually enjoying themselves. And we can't, shut them up. All right, so let's jump real quick into some of the comments before we get into what we want to really talk about. Photos of Jamaica, welcome. Blessed holiday to you, or blessed holiday as some would say. South Korea, big up yourself. Fresh got in the building, welcome. Capo, big up yourself. Who else we have there? Siobhan Peart, big up yourself, man. I think Antonio can be effective as a go-to person for the team. Takes the weight of expectation of Bailey. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, a lot of you watch the game. He was substituted, or he was brought on as a substitute. Michail Antonio, he is back back from his illness, and he would have performed fairly well. He hit the back of the net like he normally does, scoring his usual goal. Some persons were wondering what was happening to Michail Antonio. They even went as far as him fall off. You know what I mean? It was just a matter of time. But you know, Michail Antonio, as these footballers normally do, they are professionals. They allow the football to do the talking, or they speak on the field of play, which is that 90 by 120. Yes. And ensure that the ball goes between the frame of the 8 by 8. Yes, man. So big up to Antonio on that. It was a good comeback for him. He was subbed into the game about the 50th minute, thereabout. And he came on, did a good job. Even though his efforts was one of those efforts that, you know, he would not have wanted. But it is a situation where he actually scored a goal, but it wasn't enough. Yes, it wasn't enough to, you know, aid in his team in winning that game. They have been falling off a little bit. They have lost games. They have not had a very good spell in December, if you ask me. So it is that situation where they are concerned. So Michail Antonio is back, shaking off that virus. What I've learned about Michail Antonio's situation, you know, the man had no symptoms, people, none whatsoever, none. He was good. He was up and about, but of course, you know, the isolation thing. But we also learned that the isolation process would have changed in England. So possible that's one of the reasons why he was back so soon. So, you know, it is a good thing. So Johnny is saying he thinks that it's because of the injuries that West Ham has been having. Well, we can't go around that. A lot of teams are facing those situations. When I look at the injury list, people, a whole lot of clubs have more than 6 players, 6 or more players out. Only a few clubs might have 2 or 3. So it's not only one club that is rocked by injury. I think Man City, as one of the top teams, they have about 4 players injured. So, I mean, Liverpool have a lot, Chelsea, and the works. United themselves, you know what I mean? So that is the situation where that is concerned at the moment. Ian, big up yourself. Of course, Ian Campbell. Yes, Brentford, Ethan Pinnock has always been doing well. He's extraordinary. Yeah, man. Ethan Pinnock, from that man step in the Premier League, he has not put a foot wrong for Brentford. I can recall. You might be able to see something different, but I want you to advise me if you had any time in the past, in recent past, put a foot wrong where, what you'd call it, anything wrong, put a bad foot where Brentford is concerned. Teddy Lee Gray, big up yourself, Teddy Lee Gray. You know, we did some awards the other day, Teddy Lee, and to my surprise, you weren't a part of it. I must take responsibility for that. The amount of people we had to sift through, I trust Mr. Teddy Lee, it was an oversight. You are one of the staple on this show, you know. You know what I mean? And we really appreciate you. So apologize for that. And I hope that you'd have had a happy holidays. And thanks for sharing that sentiment this side. Yeah, man. Jamaica LOL, big up yourself. Chris Smith, big up yourself, Chris Smith. Like up the stream, people. See, Fresh God Affair telling you 52 people are on. We should have at least 50 of those likes. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I want you to hit the like button, people. That's a free way of supporting the thing. Brain drain. Yes, brain drain. That's true. Teddy Lee should get an award for being the first caller to our show. You know, we rolled out the call-in link and having persons, from time to time we had the panelists, and the panelists were sharing their views, which are important. Some persons share it in the comment section. However, we introduced the calling aspect of the show, and it has been a hit because persons have called and they express themselves, and they have been doing absolutely brilliant, and they are sharing their opinion. You know, I've always said that this show is opinionated, is an opinionated show. We also come with the facts, but when I say opinionated, it leaves or gives me room for football fans out there to come on board and share their views, just to express themselves. You know what I mean? So we have always lived up to that mantra, and we will continue with that. We are giving the people a voice so that they can share, they can express, and that's what we will continue to do. So let's talk about Demarai Gray, people, the hitman that is very close, yes, to get his citizenship. And we have also learned, people, that he is ill at the moment. So when I say Demarai Gray is out, he has been ill. It is unspecified. I'm not certain if it is a case where he has the virus or whatever sort of illness, but I know that he's ill, and he will return. His return date should be the 30th of December. So in another few days, we should see Demarai Gray back with the team, probably in training and all of that, but he should be back by then. That is the specified date of return for Demarai Gray. You know what I mean? So big up to Demarai Gray. We hope a speedy recovery, and a one that is, he'll recover before time. Trust me, we want that ball to come play for Jamaica. And people, I must share this. He has not stopped following the JFF. So when I spoke about Demarai Gray, people still have their reservations, but the man has not stopped following the JFF. Yeah? So it is a good look. Will he get his passport on time to play in the January game against Mexico? I cannot say that. Will he be named in the squad? That would be absolutely brilliant by Paul Hall. Right? That Paul Hall, that would be a hit. You know what I mean? That would be a hit. So basically, that's the situation with Demarai Gray. We hope that the young man will, recover as quickly as possible. Yeah? We need him for the window year that is coming up. We need him because the next player that I'll be talking about, Leon Bailey, it's not a possibility that he's going to return. But let me read some of the comments before I move on. Come on, people, like up the live. Like up the live. Like up the live. All right. Okay. Chris Smith is bigging up Bryn. All right. He's asking you to like the stream, people. Shaquille, big up yourself, Shaquille. Big up yourself, Shaquille Smith. Happy holidays to you. You know what, Bridget? I would say the controversial man in the comment. All that to Teddy Lee. But you know what, Teddy Lee, one thing about you, when you hold on to your point, you will not allow the master to sway you in going down a different avenue from what you are walking on. So big up yourself on that, Teddy Lee. Kimo, big up yourself, Kimo. This year was great. Thanks to you guys. Yeah, man. I believe that the content creators or the analysts, football analysts, listen, we have to big up the thing, we now call ourselves a vlogger, if we stop calling ourselves vlogger, you see me I say? We need to stop. We are content creators and / football analysts. You understand? So these other gentlemen have been doing an excellent job, and of course we can't leave out the one female that I know of in the content creator Reggae Boy Zone. That is Crystal Davis, aka Talawa TV. She has been doing an outstanding job. She had an interview with John Barnes that is hit. John Barnes talk about some bigger things. Yeah, man. Expressing how things happen, why he left, you know what I mean, or why his contract was not renewed. So big up to Talawa, big up to all the content creators and sports analysts out there. Continue to do what you're doing. Your hard work is paying off. Don't quit now. Sometimes it gets tough, you know. Sometimes you don't want to set up a stream to do a live or create a video, but you know, sometimes that comes with the territory, and humanly speaking, of course, you're gonna feel those type of ways sometimes. That is inevitable. But I mean, just brush off it and just move on, because I mean, if once you have life, once you have strength, once you have health, just keep working. I have to keep grinding. Doesn't matter what people say. Hey, sometimes we get some comment in the comment section that is hitting hard. But yeah, guess what? We use some of those comments to elevate us, you know. Because my mantra for 2022, you know, is elevate. That is already on my WhatsApp. You know? Name already. Elevate. So upward we're going this year. Next year. You know what I mean? It was a stellar year for every single person who have been in this field. Big up every single one of you. Yeah, continue to work, because you see this new media, we are doing an exceptional job, and we have also effected changes in the sporting world. So don't give up now. Yeah, you might do a video and you think that should I make 10,000 views. Don't give up now. Yeah, because in order to reach to the top, you know, even if you skip out a ladder, you might be putting a step on the ladder, you might be putting yourself at risk. Yeah? So just take it one step at a time. Don't look who pass you. Don't look at who is above. Don't look at who is below. Just support. You'll get your support. Do your work. Put in your work. And trust me, it will all make sense. It will all make sense. Yeah? It will all make sense. Just don't quit now. You understand? Keep the fire burning. Can't stop right now. Yeah? Alright, so big up yourself, Chemo. You see, Chemo one comment alone let me say a whole lot. Big up yourself, Chemo. Alright, Pristine. New York in the building. Happy holidays to all my peeps in New York. Staten Island, Long Island, Queens, Manhattan. What you call them again? My place. Over for the Brooklyn. Yeah? Bronx. Whole White Plains Road. Yes. All on the streets and avenues in New York. Big up on yourself. Gunning Hill Road. All of the places then. Big up on yourself. Brooklyn. Queens. Big up on yourself. Happy holidays, and I trust that you'd have a beautiful new year. But anyway, I'll be here again. All is well, God's willing. So you know, we talk about the new year and bigging up in that aspect as well. Chris Smith said, "Coach, those are kind of players we need to." Yeah, man, definitely. Is he ill like with Little Wayne? Said he was ill, not sick. To mean he was awesome. Oh, of course, brain drain. You know things different in a you know the language has really changed in a brain drain. You have the urban type of language, and then you have the British language, you have the American language, you have the Canadian language, which is English I'm speaking about. So you know there are different meanings for different words, but in this context, he is not doing well. It's not like he's awesome at this time. He's an awesome player, of course, but he's out. He's ill, not doing well, and they say that he will return on the 30th. So Brendan, we know that part right there, man. We need two wing backs all. So Walker Peters, Tariq Mitchell, yeah. Brown man security, big up yourself. Yeah, man, big up to Talawa. Hey, wanna go check out the video over Talawa. If you have not watched it yet, you need to go and check it out. Talawa TV. Yeah, man, that's where you can find that big bad interview with John Barnes. Yeah, man. All right. Coach, if we get these 4 players, we are going to qualify Lewis Baker, Tariq Mitchell, Kyle Walker-Peters, and Demarai Gray. Let's see how that one will go. Gold Jam, big up yourself. Welcome. Where's that Teddy Lee? Demarai, the samurai. Yes, Teddy Lee, that one they sell off. Andrew Nicholson-Smith, big up yourself. Thanks for joining. But coach, Teddy Lee always I get the most buckle. And that's when I said Teddy Lee, you resolute to what in believe. Seem like, well, I don't touch a part, but big up yourself, Teddy Lee. Watson, Rick Antonio Watson, big up yourself. We might get Kyle Walker-Peters. Yeah. So I'm playing for Southampton today. I hope Antonio go over to him, you know. Or the persons who need to call him, give him a call. Chris Smith is saying, Coach, I should be the first person who wanted I should be the first person who wanted tap out. I should be or you were. Which one? We know you have burned for a long time, you know, Chris Smith. Conrad Smith, welcome to the show. Big up yourself. All right. South Cry again. John Barnes out. I'm starting. South Cry, you need to behave yourself. The man not even get a job yet, I say him out. No, sir. You beat Chris Smith. You are Ray man. Them sure, but this is for another day. You are Ray man, them sure. What that mean, Brendan? What that mean? I don't understand what that mean. What is it? We are Ray sure? And that a go on? Chris Smith, we won't get Lewis Baker and Tariq Mitchell, all right? So Ian Campbell shut down that. Why you think we won't get Tariq Mitchell? Jano. Ian Campbell, we won't qualify with Taxi and Low. We need 2 quality wing backs, and Pinnock should be in the back line, all right? That me I wonder in a fresh. Where am I talking about? So me put it on the screen there. Mr. Galaxy, big up yourself. Fresh God, Demarai Gray is out. What do? Oh, he's sick. He's ill. Mr. Galaxy, Demarai Gray is ill. So he's out and he's going to be back the 30th of this month. I don't think it's not any muscle injury or anything of the sort. They just specify that he's ill. Big up yourself, Mr. Galaxy. Ian Campbell, the team needs 4 players with quality. All right. Tennessee, big up yourself. Mark Chambers, bless up, quote. Greetings of the season. Yeah, man, big up yourself as well. Mr. Galaxy, I think Demarai Gray had a little knock. I don't think it's a knock doing a fresh. I think so. I mean, I'm not sure if it is the virus, but them say he is ill. It didn't specify that it was a muscle injury or anything of the sort. Because Rico Henry is better target for left back. Also, he plays with Ethan Pinnock. Yeah, I think Rico is out. Ian. Rico is hurt. Rico is hurt, Ian. Yeah, man. Westchester, all right. Pristine, big of yourself. Tennessee, do everything, all right. Did Ravel went back to training? Yeah, Ravel is back in training. Ravel is back in training, Westland. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, fresh got it's just an illness. It did not specify that it is COVID, you know, but we are, based on what it says, we could say it is COVID, but it has not been said that it is COVID. Rico Henry can work, but the team needs 2 quality wing backs. It can be Rico Henry, Tyreek Mitchell, Walker Peters, or Ferguson. Yeah, man. But Rico is out. Rico is out. Man City think we soft soap. Leon and Demarai should be fit for the January window, all being well. Yeah, man. Demarai should be back by the end of this month, which is a few days from now. The Leon Bailey situation, even though they had said that he's going to be back after the Christmas could lead into the new year. Of course, you know that Leon Bailey's injury is a thigh injury, which is his quadriceps. Those muscles there are on the thigh. So is it a case where he's going to be fit and ready? We're not sure. There's no specified date for Leon's return. The last time I checked, no specified date for his return. So, I mean, with Leon Bailey, we're still not certain when he's going to return. But we're hoping that he'll be fit and ready for the January games. Yeah? But let's see how the news that will follow. We're after the Christmas now. Is it anytime now? Or is it a few days? But the last update I've checked, no specified date. Is Low overrated? You want to answer that in the comment section. Ethan looks suspect from last few games. Not to me, Phil Jones. Coach is there. Speed did not know he was being recorded on Ryan show and talk about bag of things. Recorded when? When? Today on Ryan show? Brain drain, talk straight, no man. I don't understand what you say. Chris Smith, Nathan Ferguson is back and playing for Crystal Palace. We have Javian Brown and Taxi. Demarai the Samurai should be Demarai's nickname. Yeah, man, a good name that. Joan Clark, big up yourself. Welcome. Happy New Year to you and your family when it comes. Thank you and same to you, Joan Clark. Jairus, big up yourself. Ian Campbell, Taxi, and Brown won't get us there. All right, let's see. Boy, Speed drop bomb today on Ryan. Yeah? So me I watch a show and me never see that part right there. Probably me missed that part right there. What the bomb? Who calling the show? No tell me what going on, man. Vibes Addict Entertainment. Riley, what? Did Speed? Yeah, more often know what going on. It's show late December return for Bailey. And that's not what I saw. Richard Tiddlywing Stevens, big up yourself. Season greetings to you from London, England. Going out to you. All right, big up to you too as well, Richard. Jay, conversations are highly anticipated. How excited or trepidatious are you? Thank you. You're welcome. Coach says, yes, today Speed. But me the punish show, I never hear that call. Probably me did jump off that time there. Yesterday, Speed said Tapa did not want any more UK players. Yeah, we didn't know that. That's new to me. What can you tell us about that upholstery? Loving the soft seating. Well, you said it's soft and relaxed. Yeah. Please leave that situation about Mr. Speed. Hopefully Ryan will remove the video. Coach, what going on? Big up yourself, Malik Mills. I saw it serious. John, I say him talk up some things I never know, say him up on live. Oh my. Who this? Hold on, the cranky, hold on there. Yeah, man, this here, man, me just see you. Welcome, cranky. Me not hear you. Not hearing you.
I can't hear me if I'm on mute. Should I join out any background noise? How are you doing?
Let me get some volume.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, me I hear you now.
How are you doing? How's the holidays?
I'm good, how are you?
I am doing well, I'm doing well.
Hold on, may I try to change the layout? Alright. Yeah, man.
Holidays good. See you in the Christmas.
So cranky, you see the
I see you have the Christmas setup, which is good. Even though Christmas done in the court, so.
Hold on, you look at me need to put in them headset because I'm not hear so clear.
Oh, you can't hear me. Can you guys in the forum hear? They can hear me, I think. Bless up, Mr. Chris Smith, bless up. So Chris always hear me come on the forum. So thanks, Chris. Appreciate that.
Go ahead, Dom. See.
No, I say you have a Christmas thing up, so you're still celebrating Christmas. Or you can't hear me.
Yeah, man, I just hear a good now, yeah, man. No, okay. no, really, still a celebrate. It's a day after, so we never get to change it. I really, my cell phone me I use, you know.
So, I figure as much, you know. That's why you didn't see me in the background. I figure as much. It's not your normal setup.
Yeah.
So I heard you talking about Mr. Speed and Ryan program and what he said. I didn't watch the program, but Mr. Speed is telling us. I wonder why he said that. I guess when you cut ties, you know, Mr. Speed, you know it's a very small world, you know. You never know. You never know. So he's saying certain things now in the public domain, which we all believe was the case. And it's now coming to light.
Yeah. No, man, I'm not on the vacation. If me did on vacation, it sure would not go on, man.
Well, you can have
it. Yeah, hear them as...
The world is mobile, my coach. You can be any place and have your show now. You're not static anymore.
True. It's not like one of those places where you have to go in office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the office is now, you are now the office, wherever you are.
Exactly.
You don't have to go into the office anymore. So as long as you have a computer or some device, you can connect with the world, you're good. Or connect with your workplace. But I just want to say, Coach, by the way, Coach, I just want to say before we go any further that my team did win today again. It's becoming a normal thing. My team did win today. 5-0, by the way. Just for your information. I think you struggled last week to beat this team. You beat them 1-0. We gave them 5 and would have got more, but we had empathy and sympathy and we didn't want to, you know, we didn't want to destroy their confidence or whatever is left of it.
Why cranky you on a high, you know?
Yeah. We were 0-3. Coach, what's this, Coach? People like Brain Drain, we were 0-3, 9 goals for 0 gains. How things have changed. But anyway, we won't keep on going about Arsenal. It's been a good run. Hopefully it continues. And I hope you guys lose tomorrow, by the way. I hope you lose tomorrow. Just for your information.
From what I hear is that Ryan don't want to talk about this situation because apparently Mr. Speed never know he was on live.
I hate to tell Ryan this, Coach, but Ryan is talking nonsense. Ryan, I suggest to you, when you're public domain and information out there, you can't even not to talk about it. It is your job, and Mr. Speed's job, to manage what you say. If it becomes public information, you can't say people shouldn't talk about it. That's nonsense. It's in the public domain. You can't control it.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult.
You can't say people shouldn't talk about it. I don't know what does that mean. How do you control that? You will send you ever see, Coach? Sometimes you hear reporters behind the scenes or commentator, and something is publicized. It's out of the public domain. It's public information. If you didn't want it to be that way, and it may have been accidental, then yeah, that happens. But you can't control the information when you broadcast of a public forum. I don't know how you're going to then put a gag order on information when it's out there. That doesn't work.
All right.
We all suspect that that was the case. You just confirm what we know, and it's all news, frankly, because he's no longer in the position, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But we all knew this.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because the people he was loyal to me, he didn't have enough of them with the capability to get him where he needed to get to. What he needed, he was against, which didn't make any sense, contradictory to any sense of logic, frankly. First, God said, I shouldn't talk about it, just let it rest. Wow. I don't think you guys get what you're saying. So, Fresh God, if somebody puts something over YouTube, whether directly or indirectly, and it's broadcast, you're saying you should squash it? Well, how do you squash it? Because it's out in the public domain. Unless he took the video down and destroy that video, destroy that tape, and even then, it still have a life of its own.
No, I guess what they are saying, I think they understand that in a cranky, but once it is talked about and belabored, then it's like adding more fuel to the fire, so to speak.
But here's the problem, Coach. Is the new
and it now gonna stop talk about for real still enough.
Coach,
to be honest.
That's what we always been talking about. We've been talking about from day one, which is we want Demarai Gray to come in. I know you guys can say Demarai Gray. I'm trying to who's Demarai Gray? We want Demarai Gray to come in.
No, but you know why I started calling him so cranky?
Yeah.
I watched an interview with him. I think when he was at Bayer Leverkusen.
Right.
And they said Demarai Gray. And he said, no, Demarai.
Everybody in England call him Demarai Gray. So you may as well adapt the name and move forward.
So that's why I asked him so.
But think about it, Coach. We've talked about this from day one. English players, English-born players, Jamaican players. That has been the theme of conversation for most YouTubers who are following Jamaican football. And also people in the public domain, commenters, even the official, what Price called the formal media, that I call the traditional media. We've talked about this. So then you're saying, no, you can't talk about it going forward because Mr. Speeds provides some clarity around it. I don't know how that works, Coach. I'm sorry, I don't know how that works. But all right, so we all have had that sentiment. We have all wondered why Ethan Pinnock didn't come back. We have all wondered why there's so many good players in the Premier League that we haven't pursued.
Yeah.
Let's see what Paul Hall does, right? Let's see what Paul Hall does.
Yeah, definitely. The topic on hand here is the return of Michail Antonio with a goal. Then you have Demarai Gray out. That is specifying people that he's ill and he should be returning on the 30th of this month. Leon Bailey, he should be back, but there's no specified date on his return as yet, from what I have researched and seen.
Hey, Coach.
What are your thoughts on those? Yes.
Coach, there's no guarantee we'll have anybody available, whether in Jamaica, the UK, anywhere around the world. The virus is spreading exponentially, right? So you can, it's not like you can catch a virus and you've caught it, so therefore you're immune to it going forward. You can't catch it again. You can catch it multiple times. In fact, Robbie from AFTV saw him the other day. He had caught it again, except the symptoms were not as pronounced. They were less severe. So you have no guarantee, whether us or any other CONCACAF team that players going to play in the next window will not catch the virus. In fact, more likely than not, quite a few will have the virus. Now, I assume the Premier League players will be taking much more precaution than they have previously, because fans still attend game and go in some kind of a bubble to make sure they can protect themselves and protect the viability of the game going forward. But I'd be very surprised and shocked, frankly, if you don't have a number of players from all these different teams, including our own, who are afflicted with the virus and can't play in the next window. You hope that's not the case, but I'll be shocked.
Yeah, man. That's something we have to look into, because if most of our players are going to come from UK, then it's gonna be that situation. Trust me, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. We have to just keep our fingers crossed hope that what happened in the first set of games will not happen to us again going forward, because we can't assault.
I think we should go get as many UK players as possible, and hopefully some of them can come. Look, my philosophy, I was very impressed with Andrew Price's comment the other day, because I heard a lot of Jamaican coaches talking about local versus overseas.
Yeah,
what he basically said was, you know what? The best people should play, regardless of where they come from. So long as they have the citizenship and the passport, they should play, which is how we should be thinking. And therefore, there's a bunch of players we know who have an interest, who have the capability. Bring them into the program. And also, people say, well, the window is too late. It's too late to bring people in. First of all, coach, it's like we're starting over again. New coach, new system, new process, new way of playing, new players. I don't think we have built up some camaraderie and chemistry amongst the current crop of players to say, you know what, we don't want any intrusion to the squad or any addition to the squad. I don't see that. I think we should consider who wants to join, do they fit what Paul is trying to accomplish, and pursue them. And hopefully Gray gets his passport. I hear in a number of different forums where saying he's close. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, from what I've heard is that the documents that they could not find, they have got a hold of it. So I guess that will speed up the process in terms of him getting his citizenship first. But with what is happening, that could be another delay.
But coach, here's the thing, coach. Why the player? Here's what I don't understand, coach. So if I have all my documents, then I just say, you know what, JFF, who's the contact in England? Here are my documents, and you give it to me. You know, it's expedited. Give me this official business, almost like governmental business, and I get my information back. Why do I have to go some rigmarole and it's possible and COVID? Why is there an expeditious process being put in place to hurry up the process to get, in situations like this, to get the official papers, or to get the passport and the whatever you require, the citizenship completed? I don't understand that, coach. Does JFF have some mechanism to do this and do it in an expeditious manner?
It should be there. It should be there. I'm not certain if it is, but it should be there.
But coach, as official media, you should be finding this out, no, coach. I'm gonna give you a Ketarak hard time. As official media, coach, because you guys think you're telling us the official media. You now have to have sources and contacts and confidants that can provide you this inside information. Obviously, you have to manage it so we can be apprised. And we don't have to hear from around the corner and I suppose that will it happen, may it happen, whatever it is.
All right, yeah, man, that's something that we can find out. Karoom is asking, I want to ask you two hosts, which top coach builds his team on one player alone? Please educate me. Are you asking this question in relationship to the misconstrued way that was delivered in the media, Karumi? Or you're asking a genuine question? Because I don't understand. I don't know if that's the way Cranky understands it. But I don't know. When
I first heard it, I thought that's what he was saying. But if you listen to the question and the comment, I think it's more around, look, I have a good player not being involved as he should be involved. We know his capability. We know his abilities, his differentiating skills. We have to get him more involved. We have to get him the ball. To create a situation where he can be effective. That's what I'm hearing.
But you see, in that same question that was asked in the media at the press conference, the man, when he was giving his answer, he mentioned Michail Antonio's name. Nobody up to this date has mentioned that, And based on what he was saying, it was not. I wasn't getting the impression that he was actually saying that he wants to build his team around Leon Bailey. Because Leon Bailey was not the only name that he mentioned in that comment.
I think the question was around what is he going to do as it relates to Bailey? Because in Jamaican media is always focused on Bailey. They were the one who brought it up. He didn't. So I'm not sure now why. Because when I first heard it, I had the same view, which is, what do you mean build around Bailey? He's not even playing well. But then if you listen to the question in its totality,
no, it's not.
And his answer, then it provides more context.
It was. I think the person who asked the question, the journalist, was basically asking, what plans do we have for Leon Bailey? And he made mention of that the top quality Antonio is and Bailey's top quality, and sometimes they go through patches like these, and all he wants is his confidence. And in order to build his confidence, I'll try to get the ball to him. I don't think that is a philosophy of him trying to build his team around one player. No, I didn't get that. I don't know where Karoom get that from. But for me, if I were to answer that question, it's very difficult in this modern game to build your team around one individual. I have seen it in local football, and when I say build team, but it's really a tricky question, you know, because when you look at some teams, you might see one player that is stand out, and then the persons looking on are going to be saying that him are the main man, that is not really the case.
So Karoom is saying in the chat that's not what he was saying. I don't think we've ever had that question. So here's the thing. Karoom, you're not being genuine. I'm sorry. I'm going to take you to task for this. No one has asked that question since I've been on this forum for the last 8 months or 7 months around bidding around one. And we talk about Bailey ad nauseum. So why would you just pose this question now if it was in the context of what Paul Hall said? Right? He's saying, would you be put your team or whatever you do around one player or sort of one system per se? I think people have different systems that they play. Countries have systems. And you're asking the question about, no, I don't think anyone, this is not a basketball team where you only have 5 players. So any one player on average have 20% of your team makeup. I think you have 11 players, so it's a much smaller percentage. But you want to utilize certain skills or differentiating skills of the players on your team, especially those you think have exceptional talent. So you want to put them in the best position to be successful. So do you build your team around one player? I don't think so. And I can't recall any team. Maybe Barcelona did a little bit for Messi in terms of they got rid of Ronaldinho, bad influence. They make sure they create a situation where the players who play around him complement his skills. But most times you're not going to do that actually, because the game, there are too many players on the field. The opponent sometimes dictate how you play or how you want to operate. If you build it around one player and they take away that one player, how do you operate? Because you wouldn't make allowances for differentiating in terms of the number of other players that you have. So I don't think that would be the case, actually. I think coaches having some internet challenges. So Karumian, I don't think you build your team around one player, but sometimes you want to emphasize that player and focus on that player. If you think about some of the great players we have in today's game, I think Messi and Ronaldo are getting seasoned, but Mbappe, for example, or a Neymar or a De Bruyne, you know, the coaches try to find a way to feature them. Coach, you're having some internet challenges. Can you hear me, Coach? Coach.
Cranky man, I'm hearing you, but you're so like, I think I'm having internet issues because I just switched to the phone data, and now I'm hearing your voice. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, I don't think I sound like that.
Right. let me switch back and see what happens.
So someone said I'm call a Ronnie name like that. Who's Ronnie? CC. Who are you talking about, CC?
All right, let me jump off and return.
Well, Coach, just taking a break. Coach, I can still see you, Coach. I'm not sure what's happening. CC, you got to tell me who Ronnie is, CC. I'm not sure who that is. But, I mean, look, I think Paul Hall is going to have a difficult job because the Jamaican public are very, very critical. They sometimes have unrealistic expectations. I think I'm going to say we wanted Tapper out because we didn't think that Tapper gave the team the best chance to win. More recent information suggests that Tapper restricted the pool of players that he had at his disposal and then tried to source all the best players, which frankly was detrimental to him more than to anybody else. Because most coaches I know want to get the best players in their team and be able then to harness that talent to allow them to flourish and to win. So I'm not sure why any coach would want to restrict the pool of players that they have. Yes, you may have loyalty to certain players who have been with you for a long time, and most coaches are like that. But after a while, you have to come, try to figure out how to balance talent versus loyalty. And I can tell you, talent is going to win out most times, especially for jobs and roles which are not permanent in nature. The job of a head international football coach is a challenge position because it's outcome-based and results-based. And if you're not winning, you're going to have uproar in terms of fans wanting to be replaced. So I'm not sure why anyone would want to have the best talent at their disposal to be able to utilize that talent to have them to have positive outcomes. Are you back, coach?
Yeah, man. I'm hearing you quite clearly now.
I was concerned that I'm losing my voice because I sound muffled. I had to record. I try to record myself and then play it back.
Okay. Yeah, man. It was on my end, though. It was not your end at all.
So Karuma said, why is Paul Hall going to have a difficult job? For a number of reasons. One is Paul Hall has to think about what are the players going to have in his 23-man squad? And there will be no consensus on that. Does he recall Pinnock, for example, who some people in Jamaica don't value his abilities, don't think he's a good player, even though he's playing really well in the Premier League, which I find strange? Does he do so when any position you bring with an English-based or English overseas player, English-born player, will be at the expense of a locally developed player? How would that be received by the Jamaican public, the footballing public? How would that be received? Will that cause consternation in the squad of the local developed players who have friends who may be the ones who get replaced? There's a litany of things you have to deal with. How does he deal with the JFF, who have said numerous times, I'm going to use euphemism and say they have not operated effectively. Let me be nice. So we're trying to get positive and go forward and look at the glass half full. They have not done the best job. They have not put the coach, manager in the best position to win in a number of different areas. So how does one believe that Paul Hall's job won't be difficult when he has so many things to overcome or to manage? He's going to play Peru, and he doesn't have, most of his team will not be there. Only a few French players. So how does a coach put his imprint on the team, put his philosophy in place, his system in place, when he won't have the players that he's mainly going to utilize to get that done? So anyone have this misconception that he would not have a difficult job are in for a surprise. He's going to have a very difficult job. And my hope is, regardless, that he'll be smart enough to realize when you don't have a lot of time, you don't have a ton of resources, get the best players, position them to win, and hopefully you get the success you're looking for.
I see Karum asking a lot of questions,
Karum is trying to push the knife in a little bit. Go on, Karum, push it. Push the knife in, Karum. Hopefully we can answer it. We're not going to duck any question in Karum. We're not like some people. We're not duck question. Paul Hall tried to be direct, and he got vilified by some in the media. I do say though, Coach, Andrew Price did explain that the other day, which is, and I love the fact that he's so transparent. I think that's very important. He was asked a question and he gave his perspective. Yeah. And I agree with his perspective, frankly. But as you're alluding to, the question may have been misinterpreted. The answer Paul Hall gave may have been misinterpreted, and the response given may not be reflective of what Paul Hall was saying.
Yes. That's what I gather from that. And I mean, you see, they tell you when you're giving an answer to a question or you're writing stories or expositions and all these things, you have to be clear in what you're saying. So you don't give the audience or persons looking on or listening or reading them too much to decipher when you're not direct. And probably that's one of the cases. I've heard someone said that he was kind of a bit of political. He says the right stuff so that persons will feel good. And it could be a case where he wants to say that, I mean, give Leon Bailey the ball. But that's not what he really means. But he gets everybody pumped up that, oh, yes, Paul Hall is going to be all about Leon Bailey. So probably that's the reason, that's how they would have gathered that question to say that if him really build the team around Leon Bailey. You know what I mean?
So, Coach, that's exactly what I thought, I will admit. When I heard that first says, okay, Paul Hall, you're not a politician. What the heck are you saying? And secondly, you're trying to make Bailey feel good and Jamaican public feel good about their star baller, and so therefore you're trying to play up to him. And it may be smart. If he was doing that, maybe it is smart. Because maybe he's listening to Jamaican public. As I told you, Coach, when I was in Orlando, he had a lot of support in the stands, even though he wasn't playing well. Right? No matter how poor he was playing, they still supported him. So he's the locally developed star person. And therefore, everyone wants him to be successful. And everyone's trying to think about, why is he not playing well for the national team? And is it the coach not put in the best position to play well? Is it the player, given all his injuries? What is it? Why we're not seeing the best of him, given his exploit in the Bundesliga and his brief stint with Aston Villa so far? But I thought the same thing, Coach. First of all, I thought, you know what? What are you talking about? Bailey's not playing well. Why are you featuring him? And secondly, you're trying to be a politician. And maybe Paul Hall does have the temperature of the Jamaican football community, and he's figuring how to manage them. Because that's part of the job of the coach also. Right. As you asked me, I talked to Price about the other day, which is the coach is the face of the organization, and as such, has to present an image and also come across as the authority and the person you can build trust and credibility with. So,
I don't know how this answer to this question turns out to be so, what can I say, controversial.
So, Coach, if you had said, I'm going to build a team around Antonio, there'd be less issue around it. I'm telling you.
You think so?
Yes.
No. I don't think so.
So here is why. If you say, look, Antonio has produced, he scored 2 magnificent goals. We know his attributes. We have to get in the ball in the right position to be effective. Because the 2 goals he scored, he wasn't helped by his team per se.
No.
I'm telling you, the reason why Bailey is part of the issue is because if Bailey was dominating, Coach, wouldn't you want to build a team around him? Not build a team around him, but wouldn't you want to feature him quite a bit?
But if according to, all right, put it this way, Cranky, if he's playing well, obviously a lot of balls will be going to him.
And I think that's it could be playing well, but he's not getting enough balls to even play better.
No, Cranky, how is he going to be playing well if he's not?
So, Coach, if every ball you get, you do something well with it. But you could get 50 ball, you only get 20. If I give you 20 ball, you make 19 good passes, 19 plays. But an average person should get 50 touches. You only get 20 touches. I have to get the ball to you more often.
Yeah, but if a player is playing well,
right,
especially a wide player, attacking player, the interest of the team is that the midfielders and the defenders will want to get that player the ball.
Right.
So obviously, I kind of agree with him. Said if once he's playing well, try to get the ball to him. But that wasn't the point Paul Hall was making. Paul Hall was saying in order to build his confidence.
Yeah. Paul Hall was like a politician, Coach. Politician.
And that's what I gathered to Cranky. Because this is where I disagree with you, Cranky. If he had said, Michail Antonio, problem with that. It would be more controversial than this argument with Leon Bailey. And you know why it's also controversial? Because the local coaches spoke about it. And I think the whole, where they got the idea from was the press conference, the reporter, the person who wrote the article. That's where they got the information from. I think they were trying to pick. And as Mr. Price, Coach Price said, I want to read about the mind, but let me leave it there.
So Coach Fresh God is saying we should move on. You don't want to talk about what Speed said. You don't want to elaborate on this issue. So Fresh God, what do you want to talk about? Since every topic we're touching, like.
No, but we're not talking about the Ryan situation. Ryan and Mr.
No, but
Speed
Fresh God
situation.
said we shouldn't talk about that. So we're not. And he said we're talking too long about the Leon Bailey Paul Hall situation. So we'll talk about something else then, Fresh God. Maybe you can give us some topic.
Or a long time him did say that.
Now it's not. He just said it actually. So it's getting annoying.
Your South Cry is saying Paul Hall is suggesting that the more a player like Bailey gets the ball, is the more effective he will be.
I have no more comments on that subject, Coach. I'm gonna leave it alone. First God, shut me up.
No, if you not, if you only put it in our comment, I am not going to read the comment now. But if you not continue put it on it, when people come in at the comment section who don't know about the situation, them are gonna ask, you know. You understand? DS Electronics.
And Karumi was the one asking the question about building around one player,
Yeah.
which then evolved into this topic, right?
So we passed that other topic that we don't say we know to talk about. I was on the show and I didn't hear it. And we hear so we know to talk about. So we cut it. We don't talk about it anymore. But if we don't constantly talk about it in the comment section, people who come in are going to want to know what it is about.
Yeah, I think in general, Jamaican, I hear Karumi say this, Jamaicans they like to be criticized in your face, but they're very sensitive. They like dish it up, then can't take it. Can't take it. Don't dish it up, you can't take it enough. If you're in a glass house, don't throw stones. You may get hit. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. But Karumi, you see, I asked a general question, Karumi. So you know what? If I'm mistaken by why you asked that question, so Karumi, you just came up with that question from left field, from nowhere. It just popped in your head from nowhere. We have been in this forum for what, almost the entire year? Never come to your mind, and it just popped in your mind to ask that question. Maybe it's happened, Chance. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Exactly. But Cranky, is it such a bad thing to build your team around a particular attacking player?
I don't think it's building a team, Coach. I think you got to put your team in the best position to win. If that means featuring a player and putting him in the best position to win, then you have to find a way to do so.
Or is it that we are using the wrong terminology? Because when you say build a team, you know, it's like every pass, every move, every play is made through that player. So is it
I'm not sure that's what he meant, though.
Wrongly?
No, I think we're interpreting it. Yeah, I would think so. I think it's more of how do I get the best out of each player, and especially the ones with exceptional talent. How do I really bring that talent forward? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, man. It can happen, but how that team will strive now in this modern football, it's going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult.
And you know what, Coach? I think you got to think about the region we play into and how that all work. Does the U.S. build their team around policy? People think they do. I don't think they do anymore because
no, I don't think anyway.
So. They can't because they play the same style. If you notice, their team doesn't fit the parts in, right? You just fit into the system versus them fit the team around any given player. All their parts are basically almost interchangeable.
Yeah.
Someone asked if Demarai Gray coming to play in the January window. You have to ask Coach because I'm hearing rumors. Coach's official media, our former media. I'm his former media. Give us what Andrew Price is. Coach's former media.
For now, he has not gotten his Jamaican passport. The process is still happening, so we are not certain what will transpire.
So I see some smart whatever in the comments saying we're occupying fourth for Manchester United. Yeah, we're occupying fourth for Arsenal, and man, you're gonna be watching us proceed in that same position we're in. We're not looking at fourth. We're trying to get to where Chelsea is.
Listen, Cranky, I'm not going to be like some people, you know. You are actually fourth place with points on board. I don't have those points, and it don't matter how much game we have in hand.
Exactly. I want the points in hand. Coach.
Exactly. You have the points. Me have a game in hand, but none of the points. So that's a tricky situation.
Well, you have an easy game tomorrow. You should be able to win tomorrow.
No game, no easy in an EPL, man.
Well, an easier game. Newcastle has what, won one game all season? So you should be able to get 3 points. It'd be interesting, though, we're playing Man City at New Year, so we may slow down our roll. So they've been in devastating form.
All right, so Cranky, can you bring up the EPL? Let us go through the games.
Okay.
Because, of course, you know, this Sunday evening, we talk about EPL as well as Reggae Boys.
Well, there weren't too many games played this weekend.
No.
Let me pull this up. 1 second. So if we look at the games played today, and Boxing Day is always a special day in the UK, the day after Christmas for EPL games. So we had, and it was interesting because there were 10 o'clock games in the US, which is 9 o'clock in Jamaica time today. We had West Ham play Southampton, as Coach alluded to earlier. Michail Antonio scored, but West Ham lost 3-2 to Southampton. And by the way, Arsenal did beat Southampton last time out, and pretty handily. But West Ham is hitting a rough spot. They have had quite a bit of injuries. I think their entire back line has been injured, frankly. So they have a lot of substitutes in the back line. And they're a little bit struggling. Even going forward, they're not playing as well as one would expect. But Southampton beat them 3-2 today. I didn't watch that game. I only watched highlights of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was conflicted with my Arsenal game. And you know I have to watch my team play.
Of course.
Tottenham beat Crystal Palace 3-0 today. Wilfred Zaha, Mr. Emotional, got a red card for being what he normally is, too reactive when he's getting in difficult situations. They got beaten 3-0. Crystal Palace has slowed down quite a bit. And Tottenham is on the rise. So they may be one team who might having games in hand. Because since Conte has taken over, they have been doing really well.
Yeah, they look like a unit. They look ruthless. I would say they remind me of when Pochettino was there, honestly.
Yeah. Well, he's playing players who traditionally may not have been playing under other coaches, right? You have players like Dele Alli, for example, didn't get much time on the Nuno or on the Marino, but it's getting time now.
Yes. Especially Marino.
Yeah, so there are a few players who have gotten more prominence under his tutelage than previous managers. So, coach, but you go with the manager and the coach, which is managers have their favorite. They have their system. They have the players who fit their system.
We've been saying that all along, right?
And that's exactly what you're seeing, which is the players are sometimes interchangeable, or the players could play well for one manager, given how he or she wants to play, but not for another manager, which we're clearly seeing with Tottenham. And Conte has been there, done that, right? He's won wherever he's been. He knows talent. He knows his system works. He plays 3 at the back most times. Well, he's played 3 at the back since he played Arsenal. I got to mention this. And we thumped them at our ground about 3 years ago, about 3-1 or 3-0. And he changed his system, and it's worked ever since for him. And he's always been playing 3 at the back. So that worked well for Tottenham. Man City beat Leicester 6-3.
Wow.
I was watching this game simultaneous with another game, and it was interesting where they went up 3-0, went up 4. Leicester went up 4, and Leicester scored 3, and then they came back and scored 2. Leicester's defense is decimated, so that's part of their problem.
Yeah, they were 4-0 in 25 minutes.
Yeah. I was watching. I was on another feed. I was on a watch along, and we're talking about the game, and we looked and we said, "What do you mean 4-3?" So he started, because I had it on my iPad watching it, and it was interesting actually. Leicester showed some fight, but defensively they're challenged. And Man City is just ruthless, right? It's very hard to get the ball off them. But I was surprised they were so vulnerable with Leicester going forward. So hopefully when we play them, we can score as many goals and they won't score as many on us. Next game was Chelsea-Aston Villa. I thought Villa was a better team for a lot of the game, actually. I thought Villa played well, especially in the first half. They had more chances. But as usual, Chelsea sort of wore them down. They gave away a very, very poor penalty, frankly. Magic Cash, Poland International. Gave away a very poor penalty. And they brought on Lukaku second half, and Lukaku just bullied people.
Yeah, he bullied them on them in the defense.
Yeah, like ragdolls. You know, see people just bouncing off you? Like ragdolls. Especially on the penalty he won. He sort of just ran them over.
The man bully himself through and score some goal, man, I tell him, man. All that header, how can you allow a forward to just come in, sir?
So you know what happened, coach? Mings glanced before the ball was kicked. He's trying to figure out where am I, and as he glanced and turned around, it was too late. Lukaku moved forward. He didn't move forward quick enough, and it was a brilliant header actually. Hey, Dre,
take it easy. Take it easy, guys.
Welcome.
Good. First of all, happy holidays.
Yeah, man,
and Merry Christmas. You know, this is what we expected from when we pay $100 million for the striker. Let's take it easy. Pump your brakes. I know this is what we would get the rewards. We would reap the rewards. This should be a consistent showing going forward for the rest of the season, as long as the players stay healthy. Even with the team that we have out there today, I expect us to keep winning going forward, and we're going back to winning ways. We score all the goals out there today. Also, if you never realize that, we never get them a chance. We score on ourselves to give them a sniff of competition, to make them feel like they were going to be in this game. But take it easy.
You watch the game?
No. We know what we're capable of, man. See, the coach, Lukaku's not back to 100% yet. So he gave him a break, and then he said, you know what, let's turn it up and flip the switch. And he did some tactical changes. He brought Pulisic to the right because he never want to take Pulisic off. Because we know what the skill set and what the danger that he possesses when the ball is at his feet going at players. He can also draw fouls. So he wanted to keep him up there in the game. He wasn't a center forward, but he can do his thing there depending on what kind of game Mount's having, because Mount is our key player and our face right now. So if Mount's having a bad game, then he's gonna pull Lukaku and put him up top, and we did what we had to do. The coach has got, man. We know what we're capable of, man. Calm down, guys. Take it easy.
How much did Lukaku cost? How much it cost?
Pia got the Chelsea for good.
Wait, coach. How much did Lukaku cost? What's the cost of Lukaku? I'm sorry.
That's not the point right now. The point is he's healthy, and we get back, and then we're gonna, we know what we're gonna get from him. No matter if he costs 50 million, 100 million, or 150 million, we know what we're gonna get for him. That's why we spend that amount of money on him. And that's why we're going to start winning throughout the rest of the games now. We're not dropping points anymore. So I hope the teams ahead of us keep up their foot on the gas.
Chelsea and Man City should win every game they play in. Give the amount of money they spend. Lukaku is about 90 million. Pulisic is over 50 million. You can keep going on and on. Your backup goalkeeper was 70-something million. You spent a ton of money. You should be fighting for first place.
That's not with the game. It's coaching and players' performance on that day, and staying healthy win game. Not how much money they cost. And come on, Cranky, you should know this, man. You can overpay for somebody because of the market.
Dre, I hate to tell you this, Dre, but the reason why you have played well for so long because you have the most money, and now that Man City came with more money than you, that's why they're winning. And it soon be Newcastle who has the most money who's going to be winning. That's how it goes in the Premier League. Money talks. Liverpool is an aberration. Even Man U have money, haven't done as well because they're just poorly managed. Good night.
Oh yeah, by the way, welcome on the panel winner of the Dre Anywhere the Sports Christmas giveaway, Mr. CC himself.
All right, CC, big up yourself.
Yeah, Dre, thanks for donating to the studio.
You done, brother. All for good cause.
Yeah. Boy, Cranky had to come on when you're beating my team like a slave. But Chelsea, the thing is, you realize that with COVID and with even the way in which COVID has affected the fixture schedule, you realize that it affected even the international schedule. So the season is like a war of attrition. It's the teams that have the most persons healthy at the end of the season who will probably end up winning the league. If you realize, and this is not making any excuses, but if you realize this season, from recently this season we had like 16 injuries, and then you had COVID and other stuff. All other teams are faced with the same challenges, but like a Manchester City, this season for some reason, they have been the team that has been like less it. They haven't gotten the it as much as a Man U, a Chelsea, and other teams that have gotten a bit something like COVID and injury have done them real bad. You haven't really seen that happening to Manchester City. Not that they're not being consistent in their playing, but I mean outside factors that is affecting like a Chelsea right now is not really affecting them, because if you realize most of our starting 11 we haven't gotten back on the pitch, but it doesn't really stop us from winning a game or not, because at the end of the day, any 11 that goes on the field is Chelsea. If you get 7, it's Chelsea getting 7, and not necessarily Kante or any of those guys that are the mainstay of the starting 11. So right now, I just put pretty much the league down to a war of attrition, because at the end of the day, City is out front, yes, but anything can happen in the Premier League, and you see another team taking going back in the lead. So I'm not even worrying about it right now. The only thing that I'm worried about is my team staying healthy and getting through the rest of the season, and the guys staying healthy for their family's sake and stuff, and so we can have some football to watch. Because I'm telling you, Cranky, if the league got postponed, other than work when on the weekends, I don't know like what I would have to do. Like if I don't have no sports to watch, I'm gonna have a team to watch. So that's basically what I'm hoping for. That they get through the rest of the season healthy, and this thing kind of just slows down and not really impact the players in a way where it impact their families. So I'm not even in the mindset of winning the league right now. It's just the mindset of getting through the whole news train and getting things back to a place where games aren't being postponed so many, and people are not, because if you look at it, Antonio got the virus, Demarai Gray. So those are things that is hitting close to home as well, because Antonio is supposed to come and play for us in January, and possibly Demarai Gray might be in the lineup as well. So if you realize that's where my focus is at, I want to see my team win, but my focus is more on the players getting back healthy.
So we should finish off the person because we say the best. You know, the coach has said the best for last. In talking about my team, I say the best for last. So the last game, it was played at 10 o'clock. Well, I'm sorry. Brighton played Brentford. Brighton won 2-0, and Brighton is a good team. They've played well all season, just haven't been able to score goals.
Yeah.
So they had a win today. And then the last game, let's say the best for last, was Arsenal playing Norwich, and we did what we had to do. We were a little bit ruthless. We have built up our goal average, our goal difference, which is very important as we go forward. And my favorite beaten stick, Saka, has been scoring off 8, which is good. So I can get Saka scoring. I can't get Smith Rowe into the game, even though he scored almost every single game over the last 4 or 5 games. So that's a good thing. So it's looking good for Arsenal, and hopefully continues. You all right, Coach?
Yeah, man. You finished up. You finished up about Arsenal already?
Yeah, no, but no, Coach. You gotta be humble, Coach. You can't beat your chest, Coach. Yeah, I don't know if CC run that, but I'm a Hurricane fan now. If Andre a Hurricane fan, any fan of a Chelsea fan, just come on road. Just come on road. Them just let them out of them house. Them just come on road, Coach. So, and I'm not gonna beat my chest with Arsenal because we haven't really done anything yet. We're still in December. If come May I'm in the top 4, then I can beat my chest. But right now I'm trying to be humble and be, thoughtful and appreciative of the progress.
But Cranky, you're doing the right thing, winning the games that you're supposed to win,
Yeah, it's important.
And once you stay up there, you keep the pressure on.
Yeah, we weren't winning away from home. So the last 2 games against Leeds and Norwich were not good teams. We have won away from home, which is very important. Our home record is the best, our second best in the league. I think we're tied for the best in the league. But our away form has been atrocious. So it's good that now we're winning. But as I said before, we want to operate with an abundance of caution. Don't be braggadocious. have some humility, and hopefully we keep on winning. And by the way, coach, this year's a Brata, as them say in Jamaica, Brata, because we have the youngest team in the league. We're building a sustainable culture and process going forward, whereby a lot of young players, a lot of upside, and hopefully blending a team which can compete with the Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea's of the world.
So the Liverpool game get postponed also?
Yep.
So they play Leicester on Tuesday, huh?
I don't know if any if they got postponed today, that may not happen. Our game got postponed against Wolves. So we were supposed to play Wolves on Tuesday, and that's been postponed because Wolves camp has been decimated by COVID.
So the big game that I'm looking forward to next week Sunday may not even happen, huh?
Yeah, the problem is, Dre, as you can imagine, holiday season when people get together, right? Over Christmas. So it was bad before the Christmas came. Imagine all family members getting together across the entire globe, frankly. Yep. And in areas where the virus is rampant, it only worsens it. I think France had over 100,000 people who were tested as being infected. And think about it. Sometimes even half those people who get infected have been tested because they may have no symptoms or just didn't go to the doctor. So that number may be even a much bigger number. So it's very pervasive and it's all over the place.
Well, we covered the Demarai Gray story already.
Yeah, man, we spoke about it.
We spoke about it.
He's out, meaning he's ill, and he should be back on the 30th of this month.
Okay, then. So
the end of this month, because I checked this. They are saying that it's not a case. It sounds to me, or from what I've read, Cranky Andre, it seems to me like it's some sort of, I don't know if it is a virus. I don't want to say it is it, but it seems like that is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some teams are reluctant to indicate their players have the virus. Like Amen for Arsenal had the virus. We heard he was sick, and now they're saying he had the virus, right? So some people are very cautious,
skeptical in
exactly
revealing
what the affliction is, what you're infected in, or what your sickness relates to. But it appears that he may have had it. There's a lot of players who are getting it, and the problem is, coach, a lot of players in the PL are not vaccinated.
Oh, because they don't believe in it?
Or there's one person said he hadn't gotten around to it. He's been living in Never Never Land.
But
too busy doing something.
From what I've heard, Michail Antonio is fully vaxxed.
Yeah, so his symptoms may not be bad, and also they're restricting the hibernation period, I'm gonna call it.
Right. So the rule on the isolation has changed, and I
they
believe
gone from 10
to
7 days. I think they're even lessening it for healthcare workers. So yeah, the hibernation period has been lessened in a lot of places.
But you see, the virus is taking place, especially over there in UK. But I think the Premier League persons have said the business have to go on, regardless of.
The problem is, coach, is this, coach, which is one, there's the fans and it's their entertainment. As CC mentioned, you know, we don't have football on the weekend. What do? Especially if you're a football fanatic. Two is their advertisers and the media have paid a lot of money to broadcast those games, to carry those games. Think about it. Amazon bought up the whole of this period. And so if you don't have the games, you got to reimburse some of that money. And the problem also is the players who are complaining are the ones who get most of the money. Players, I think, on average, get about 80% of the revenues generated. In most businesses, you can't survive on that. So a lot of teams are probably losing money because you can't give away 80% in expenses and expect to make money. So you're operating expenses, and if you want to take profit out of your company, it doesn't work. So I think they have to have some cap on players' salaries at some point, not anytime soon. And they also want to cap agent fees. So there are some things they have to work out logistically because the players are saying their health is at risk, yet they don't want to give up their salary. They're one of the only professions, frankly, far from you have a white-collar job where we had a virus, they didn't lose any pay. Some players had to pay, take be at Barcelona, for example, because they had money problems, but a lot of players get full compensation.
And I guess some of those finances would also be coming from fans being in the stands, and there was a big period when that wasn't happening.
Yeah, for some of the smaller teams, for some of the bigger teams, it's less onerous, even though it's important. Because you're going to have, 19 home games? You probably make $1 million plus per gate receipts or more than that for each gate. Arsenal have 80,000 people and they're charging $100 per fan or $50 per fan. It's a decent amount of change, actually. But most of the money come from TV money. But you'll have to reimburse those companies if you're not carrying the games you're supposed to carry. Because they also make their money from advertising, right?
Right.
So they have to reimburse their sponsors.
Wow.
But the sponsors are buying the slots because of the EPL, because I know a lot of people watch the EPL.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a cascading effect, which is you don't play the games, you have to reimburse the media company, who then may have to reimburse the sponsors, and nobody wants to do that.
But Cranky, isn't it a case also though where they will get a lot more viewership when fans aren't allowed in the stands, and then you have more persons watching?
It depends on where you are.
Viewership?
So I think people think about UK football or EPL as just the UK. That dynamics have changed. And even people in Europe, in England, thinks the same way. It's no longer a domestic league. It's a global league. Right. So you and I don't care, coach. We're going to watch the game regardless, right? In the UK, for example, they used to restrict the 3 p.m. games just because they want fans in the stand. They're lifting some of that because they realize it doesn't really matter that much. Mm-hmm. People will support their teams because it's historical, it's cultures how they operate. But a lot of times nowadays, people you want to go to the game because a different, as you know, coach, a different environment at the stadium versus being at home. But you also want to watch your team play. So if you think about it, you have 20 teams? So only 20 dates. At the end of the day, or 10 days, frankly. At the end of the day, if you think about it, coach, which is if you don't have fans for those games, everyone else across the globe get to watch the games. So the only people who are going to be affected who may have gone to the games, and how much is that population?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you call it, say, 10 times, say, 50,000, it's 500,000 people. UK's population is 50-something mil. The global population is billions who may watch it globally. It's a big difference.
Yeah. And you can post the link in the chat. I just sent it in the private chat. Just copy and post it. Just in case anybody out there want to jump on.
You got it.
You got it, Cranky? You can do it, right?
I'm trying to put it up.
Okay. Karum is saying if John Barnes offers his service after the qualification completed to be national coach for 2026, you all will offer him the job. Karum acts like are we at the JFF? I mean, wow, that it might seem like a simple question, but for me it seems like a tough one. What would you do, Jay? Would you, depending on how Paul progress, and the progression, the sample size is going to be too small for 6 games. So then again, then that's going to be a ticklish one as well. So that's why I said that even if he win all 6 games and will qualify, the sample size is still small, but it would still be a great achievement.
Yeah. Remember that him have other plans, Remember I said he's supposed to come down and with an initiative and a presentation to the parish, what you call them, the parish associations, and show what his plan going forward is and what he wants everybody to be on the same page with. So he has something coming up that he will be on the ground. He's not going to just come on international breaks. He might get up on the ground and put in the work. So that all have to do with him winning over and then agreeing with what his plans are going forward in the future and all that, and see the support and all that. But I don't think it's going to be a 6 game and done for him. So it depends on his performance and what he brings to the table and show them and what his plans are going forward.
What say you, Cranky?
I missed what you said, Coach. Sorry. What did you say a while ago, Coach? I apologize.
No, based on the question that Karoom asked, if John Barnes wants a job after the qualification, would you give it to him?
John Barnes has been a failed coach. I haven't seen John Barnes be successful anywhere he has coached. So what has John Barnes done to give him? What's his credential? What has he done? Has he been a successful coach to warrant getting a job over any other coach? Yes, he's Jamaican born. Yes, he's Jamaican lineage affiliated. But what differentiating quality does he have that would allow him to be successful?
I think
he has he wasn't the coach because of politics or whatever it is, but I haven't seen what he has done to warrant that.
Well, he had one about, well, not one. He has a unbeaten record. That stint that he had.
How long was that, Coach?
About 14 or so games.
I can't recall that. When did he have 14-game unbeaten record?
Yeah, man, he coached Jamaica for a short period.
I know he coached him for a short period, but I don't remember him having that unbeaten record. Against quality competition. I'm not talking about Caribbean Cup stuff, because you guys have to bring up quad Caribbean stuff, which we should be winning the Caribbean games. As he played against the U.S. and the Mexicos and other teams, I can't recall that.
I think that one probably off the card in terms of playing against big teams. Yeah, but I mean, if he's in a region, Cranky, that those are the teams that, say for example, England, they play against San Marino on them side there. You have to say them not do well because of them local team that them play against. The coach is not doing a good job.
So John Barnes, I know, coach in Scotland. He's coached a few places, and he's been around for a while. So why isn't he coaching a team? When last did John Barnes coach a team? He's always in the media. He's always been quoted. When last has he coached a team?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't think he would be a front runner though. And then he would want a sit down. It depends on what he brings to the table as far as what his demands are. So I don't think it depends what he's demanding and all that. I don't think he would be a front runner for the job though, in my opinion.
And as Jay's alluding to, we have to sort out the compensation package because we're told the JFF has money. They don't have money. I don't know whether they have money or not. Can't really tell. Either they take private jet or private plane, but you can't tell what their financial situation is. Mr. Smith keeps saying they have money, and I heard they were begging Diaspora for money, so I'm confused.
Karoom is saying that his best job is being a pundit.
He is a good pundit. He's quoted in the media quite a bit, in the English media quite a bit. So.
Huh?
He's quoted in the English media quite a bit, actually.
Okay.
They're always sourcing him for information, and he's pretty prominent in the media.
Because I'm suspecting that whatever transpire in the remaining 6 games is a possibility that Paul Hall might get the nod.
That's the same feeling I get too.
Well, I mean, as I said, Coach, I hear me say this all the time, Coach. Paul Hall, go get the best players you want the job. Don't worry about strategy and system and all this other stuff and confuse people. Go get the best players, set them up the right way on the field, and try to win games. Go get your Baker and your Demarai Gray, whatever they call themselves, and put them on the field and allow you to be successful. Your midfield is not good enough. Your wingers are not good enough. And Mr. Speed actually, Rudolph Speed actually agreed with that sentiment, which I expressed in this forum. And it's very obvious where you need help. Go get the help. And the last game, we should have beat the U.S. at home, which is very encouraging, and we should have beaten El Salvador away. Now, I've heard people say in certain forums that they're glad we didn't win because then it allows us to get rid of Tapa. I think that's a really skewed way of thinking. Like, really? So because you don't want Tapa to be the coach, we should lose to get rid of Tapa. when we could have had 4 points that put us on 11 points and gave us a better chance to win. I think people are conflicted when it comes to that. I'm not conflicted. I always take the points. I can figure out the type of things later. But you need to win to get to the World Cup. Then you can figure it out. And right now, we're in dire strait, basically.
Yeah, my fine. I will send it.
I posted on my phone, of course, so I wasn't listening, And somehow I see it in the comment section, but I don't see it on my iPad, so I'm not sure where it went to.
Oh, I just post it again. So people, there's a link if you want to join. We have about half an hour to go. Based on how the discussion goes, of course. But to even be thinking about another coach right now, I don't think it is one of the best things to do, unless Paul Hall will not take that job. But once he's interested, and I believe that he shows interest, it shouldn't be a case when we are looking at different coach right now.
Yeah, Coach, I think what it is he's on a trial, Coach. It's a trial period. And it's not about whether you make the World Cup or not. It's more around, do I see any hope going forward? Mm-hmm. Do I see any structure in terms of how we're going to operate? Do you create optimism based on how we perform? And most importantly, based on how he set the team up, the players he picked, the system he deploys or employs, and how we basically play. And I think that will sort of inform us as to whether or not he's a credible candidate for the job. So to me, it's a test period for him, and he's on trial.
Yeah. Jay, Arden TV is asking why your mic always so loud. I can't answer him on that.
Can't answer.
Let's see if I can find.
I don't think he's gonna be tested on the 6th game as far as the score, like the result of the game. I think they want to see positive play. They want to see a structure, a strategy, and he's gonna bring forward initiative. He's gonna presentation. He's gonna show that, see where they want to go forward as far as the development, the different infrastructure, the different club levels, and all that. It's a whole, like a technical director type of effort that he's going to bring forward.
I think if Paul Hall go get Demarai Gray and Lewis Baker and a few more players in what I call weak positions and have some time to set them up, then he's giving himself a better chance to be successful. Haka and Anthony Grant are not the solution. Flemo is not the solution. Bailey, given his injury-prone self, may not be available. So you got to go get this supporting cast or get additional resources to help him win.
Will he get the full support of all and sundry in terms of the stakeholders of football? Because from what I'm hearing, the JFF seem to have confidence in him.
Yeah, look, I think the JFF selected him, right? So I hope they have confidence. That's why they selected him. He's tainted by the previous regime, right?
Right. And I think the fans are showing support. Not all the fans are showing support, because you still have, and not all stakeholders are showing support. Because you have some folks who believe that the predecessor should not have been gone. So,
who are those people, Coach? Who are those people?
Who are those people
who believe the predecessor should not have been terminated? I know Andrew said that.
Of course, other people have been saying it. Why no? Even in the comment section, some of the videos that I've done, I've seen person in the comment section don't think it was a wise decision and so forth.
I didn't hear Andrew say he should have been let go. I think he talked more about time. So here's the thing, Coach. The coaching fraternity in Jamaica are very supportive of each other. Mm-hmm. That's very obvious, right? And even though they may think that the coach should have been terminated, they won't come out and say that explicitly. They'll talk around it. Even Andrew in his comment said, why now? I don't think, and it makes sense now, given it came off I'll paraphrase what he's saying, of two positive outcomes. I infer from what he's saying, which is should have been done earlier. But you rarely hear the coaching fraternity say anything against each other or may seem contrarian to each other when they talk in public and they talk to the media. I can't believe they actually think that way if they want the program to be successful, if they want us to get to Qatar, if they want the team to win. And Andrew I did ask him the question, Coach, around how the coach who represent the organization should present himself to the media. I did give him credit for how articulate he was.
You're muted, Cranky.
There was a hidden meaning to my question, Coach, which is, do you think the previous coach came across that way?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was my question, and I didn't pose the question directly because I don't think he would answer it directly. Is more of, if you're going to represent the organization, then how will you represent the organization? Whether it's how you communicate, how you pick your team, how you set your team up, how you engage, how you communicate with your players. There were so many things which didn't allow the team to be successful, which are fundamentals that's required of a head coach or a manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they think about what a coach represent or manager represent, how they can justify him not being terminated. They may be able to justify the timing may not seem that it should be the right timing given the last window. But even the last window, we gave up a goal in the last minute of the game. And we had, look, he can't score for Bobby Reed or prevent the referee from making a really terrible decision. But we have all questioned, and fans will question the coach about a number of different things. And I think we didn't have consensus, Coach, but majority of people think the coach shouldn't be the coach. Majority of people think that the coach should have been replaced. So I'm not sure why the coaching fraternity seemed to have a consensus that he should not have been replaced or the timing was poor.
Mm-hmm.
The timing was poor, but I can't justify him not being replaced. If we're talking about outcome business, Honduras replaced their coach earlier than what we did, which you probably should have done earlier.
Yeah.
Right? They did.
Yeah,
You know, some of these coaches also, we gotta remember that some of these coaches put their names in the hat too. Also, you know, when they hear that Tapa was under scrutiny of being replaced or fired.
No, but
So
Andrew,
the question-
I don't think Andrew applied for the job.
Yeah. So Karum is asking the question: is it the job of a national coach to improve a player? I don't think it's a national coach job. He or she doesn't have enough time to really improve a player. I think that's more the job of the club, or wherever that player is playing on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
I think a national coach is trying to figure out how that player fit into his system that he deploys and make sure he's setting the play up and his system up in a way for them to be successful. I don't think that's a national coach's job. So when people are saying that Tapa doesn't improve the player, I don't think that's Tapa's job. Tapa's job is to figure out who best fits in his system, who's going to be able to allow him to be successful, and to pick those players. We just didn't agree. A lot of people didn't agree. I wouldn't say we. I speak for myself. A lot of people didn't agree with the selection policy or process.
Yeah,
I think that will improve too. You know, I think I look for, because of the open mind thinking of Paul Haaland being that he's over there in England and stuff. I think we're gonna see some more players coming in that will strengthen the team. There's gonna be better communication.
But Jerry and the Cranky, how I know we have been talking about this for some time, even before now, about strengthening the team, but immediately we are looking at the CDM, we are looking at the two flanks in terms of the wing backs and the wingers.
Well,
we had a tough talk about that, where persons think that it shouldn't be a wholesale go and get players to bring in at this stage of the competition. But don't we need the improvement? So which would be the more significant area to sort out?
The CDM, the middle of your field. Because I don't think Speedy is the answer next to Grant. I think we need to go hard and go at recruitment of Lewis Baker. See if we can get him on board, see if we can communicate with him, get a package, get a deal, get what needs to be done, because he won't be coming for friendlies, that's for sure. He'll be coming for the key games and tournaments. That, and then there's a player too that Ian have been following and communicating with, Ian Campbell. Been sending me videos and stuff. Yeah, David Davis. Not a bad player. He's been playing consistently, and he looked like a robust figure that plays that CDM role, like a Aston, like a Rudy Aston. He looks like that type of player. He don't score a bunch of goals, but he gets into positions where he's capable of scoring goals if needed to. He has a powerful shot too.
So, Coach,
yeah, I've been looking. Yes, Cranky.
You know, Coach, I'm not sure why it's not obvious to everyone what our needs are. They're so obvious. So we have two grandfathers in the middle of the park, combined age of 82, Coach. 82 combined age, Coach. They can't run. Everybody keep talking about we missed the midfield. We missed the midfield because they can't go get the ball. They have no energy. They have no legs. And sometimes they lack the skill needed. So Anthony Grant was a robust player in his days. His best days are passing. We welcome what he has done. He's a great servant for the country. He has surprised a lot of people. He's still not the answer. How can we know he's not the answer? On our wings, Coach, have you seen any game where wingers have had very good combination with a center forward or a right back or midfielders and move the ball forward? What games are we seeing where wingers have differentiated themselves? Either wing. Bailey, Flemo, Turgot in the Gold Cup, any game, Bobby Reed, wherever our wingers really show or take a man on, destroy them, put a cross in the box in somebody's head. Where have we seen our wingers really differentiate themselves in any game, in any situation of the last 8 plus 4, 12 games? Wherever our wingers differentiate themselves and showed their class, link up with the forward, either cross in the box, beat a man, lay a ball off. I am still struggling when people don't realize that we're very weak out wide. We're weak in the middle of the park, and we're still weak at right back. Now, I'm comfortable at left back with Taxi and Greg Lee. I'm comfortable with 2 center half, whether we pick Pinnock or not, whether we have Moore and Lowe. I'm comfortable with my goalkeeper. I'm even comfortable with my 10 if it's Ravel playing the 10, because he hasn't got a lot of playing time. And I'm very comfortable with my center forwards, whether it's Nicholson, Gray, Antonio, Roof. I'm very comfortable. I am very uncomfortable in 2 people playing in front of my defense. And I'm very uncomfortable. I don't care who, even including Bailey, with my wide men. I'm getting a little better feeling in my right back, but Javon Brown is raw and very showed up in the US game. He could have been getting a red card, very raw. So I'm not sure why people say, well, you know what, who are you going to play in those positions where we think we have deficiencies? If you believe we're going to fill those gaps. Now, Jamal Lowe probably could fill a role, but the coach didn't fancy him. And I'm not sure Jamal was exemplary either when he played. He didn't get a lot of game time during this window or in the number of windows. Wasn't called for one window and didn't play a lot. But most of our wingers are not producing, nor is in the middle of the park. We can't keep the ball because most time the linkage when you keep the ball is between your midfielders. They're the ones who take the ball from the defense. They're the ones who progress the ball to the 10 and progress to the forward or play with the left or right back. We are woefully weak in the middle of the park. Woefully weak. So people are saying, well, coach, we shouldn't add more than 1 or 2 players. Then tell me if you had 2 CM, are you comfortable with our wingers and our right back? That's the question. You have to run the table. And if you have to run the table, you need your best players available to help you do so.
I think though, Michail Hector should be back in this team, you know.
Well, I should beat Michail Hector, but based on what I've seen, Michail is better than our 2 CMs. Better than Grant and better than Haka. No doubt in my mind on that. So I used to beat Michail Hector a lot, and I've retracted some of that, given what we have deployed more recently.
And the only, well, I'm not say the only, but Lewis Baker and Kevin Stewart would help us out in the middle of the park.
The thing is,
either of them come, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
And Lewis Baker actually was supposed to play for Chelsea the other day. When they had all this COVID, But I think he caught COVID himself or something.
Yeah, he did, unluckily. So the day before they tested.
Yeah, you were gonna say something else, Jay.
Yeah, you touched Kevin Stewart. Kevin Stewart been available with passport and available for selection for the longest time from Gold Cup. I would still can't take a national.
No, I think Kevin Stewart was injured for a while, right? He was injured.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy, man. He's out yesterday again. He's not in the squad at all. Not even in the match day squad. Not
Maybe
even
he has COVID. Maybe he has COVID.
Maybe.
When people disappear nowadays, they probably have COVID.
Well, he's been disappeared from Gold Cup time.
He just disappeared, period. He can't stay healthy.
All right, Richard has a question there on screen. How relevant, impactful do you see the social media voices being, especially given our new Jamaica's JA coach's own visions? He said he asked that question, particular as President Ricketts spoke with Manningsman about a vlogging type delegation inputting ideas read the national team. What say you?
So I do think the JFF has been sourcing information from, I've been getting information from a lot of different avenues, inclusive of the YouTube bloggers, because Mr. Ricketts did say he watched some of these programs where he does get information. He did also provide an open invitation to Manning's men and other parties of interest to come to the JFF offices to visit them.
Yep.
And to solicit ideas. So I think that was very encouraging to see him having sort of an open construct whereby he's receptive, receiving information other than just internally, and to try to leverage that information, hopefully leverage it going forward. So we should take advantage of the opportunity. Those of you who are on the ground in Jamaica, I did suggest to them maybe they could do a Zoom call so others who are in the diaspora can get access and be part of that dialogue. But I think that's welcoming, actually. So that's a good look, coach. And look, you and Cataract No Coach and Military Goon and others are part of the official media, which will give you more access. If they actually treat you as an official media, and they treat a Sportmax or a TVJ, you should be able to get more access to them or request them to come on your program because you now have that designation. So it's no longer this ancillary platform. It's an official platform.
Yeah, man. I think it's going to be an interesting time ahead where that is concerned.
Yeah, I was surprised the openness that Mr. Ricketts.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like they paint a bad picture for this guy, right? But when he finally come into the public and sit down with the YouTubers and do an interview, you're like, this is not the picture that we expected from him, coming from him. He answered the questions, he answered them honestly, he gave us history and he gave us what's his take on certain situation and certain player. He's like, he gave them Demarai Gray and he never followed up on it. So he was surprised when we were asking him like, what's the progress? What's taking so long? And this guy took this amount of time. Why is Gray? And he said that he's going to check in. And then he said, of course, he expects to see Gray, Bailey, and Antonio leading the front in Mexico versus Mexico. So that's when the pressure got started and amped up on checking and seeing what's going on with the progress.
So the competence.
Hold on, Cranky. You said that is one of the things I've always been saying, because these gentlemen, the federation was not in this media space, and there are a lot of things that were said, some true, some not true. It would be remiss of them to come and talk and clear up, and I believe that Mr. Ricketts did an excellent job.
I believe so too.
You know, I had to lift my hats off to that interview. Big up to Manningsman and I Am Sure Sport.
Yeah, man.
And President Ricketts for coming on to really engage the fans, because sometimes the fans are angry because they are not getting answers, and it's not every single thing we are going to know or they are going to say to us, but the intricate things that are important for the public and that the public should know. I think and for the fact that he would have openly given out an invitation for persons to come and engage him on one of his days when he's in office, that's even more brilliant on his part. So I have to big up to the president, and I have to also big up the management over I Am Sure Sport, who had that interview with president. Big up the management.
Yeah, man, big up management. And you know, he did say, if you don't get him, Mr. Simpson is there. If you don't get Mr. Simpson, he started calling out who is going to be there, who you can ask for. Because he's welcoming for the ideas that we have. And he know the platform, and he know that we're knowledgeable about the players and that are available and who are...
I'm going to say this. So I'm going to put a bore on some of this, which is I still have... Look, it's one thing to verbalize things. It's another thing to actualize them.
Yeah.
Right? So let's think about it this way, which is they have been poor in how they have managed this campaign. And the mark of a very good leader, excellent leader, is who do you have working for you? Do you have people who are smarter than you working for you? That's what you normally need to be successful, or as smart as you are, who can make good decisions, who can provide an insight, who are not yes persons. So how has that worked? And does the results demonstrate the level of competence needed to get positive outcome? And so far, we have failed woefully. So yes, we appreciate Mr. Ricketts recognizing that the YouTube platforms are viable, relevant media outlets, which can be utilized to disseminate information to the general football population and football community, and also realizing that intellectual capital doesn't reside with any one organization or person. It's very distributed, and you can get great ideas for individuals who may not seem to possess such ideas. What I found really interesting was him really coming across a very down-to-earth person, and a person who is receptive, will listen, open, which is good. But when I see him with the more traditional media, I didn't view him from that perspective.
No, we did not.
I saw him being very uncomfortable, not being able to manage a conversation well, and being very closed in terms of how he operated. So it's great to see him in a different forum. I think management, I'm sure Sport does a brilliant job of interviewing, because he gets his guests to be very, very comfortable, and it's not antagonistic in terms of how he engages. So it allows his guests to bring forth information. I think Minzy does that also. Allow his guests to feel comfortable. You can ask uncomfortable questions in a very comfortable way and get what you're looking for, versus being confrontational.
Right. And you know, interestingly, that's what we spoke about the night before, you know, because it's not only about winning an argument and getting at them in a confrontational manner, but it's for us to be professional enough to steer the question in a particular way to get the desired answers. So I think it was a brilliant one from management as well.
So first got to say, Mr. Ricketts doesn't employ anyone. That's not true. When they go out and source people in the media, marketing persons, people who execute day-to-day activities, figure out how to get support for the coach, Mr. Ricketts oversees all of that. You don't have to hire the person. You're overseeing and you're managing them, or you're leading them. So you own it. He can't basically say, well, the program, I don't control X, Y, Z. That's not how it works. He has the ability to say yeah or nay in a lot of decision-making process. So he owns it. He may not employ them. They may be elected or selected and work in certain capacity in the organization, but he oversees all of that. And what we have seen so far as not being, we have not represented the country well or the program well so far.
Yeah, I think regardless of what he does or he doesn't, he's still the JFF president, and the title brings weight for him. So if anything is happening, he's so much or very much aware of it in most cases, 99.9% of the cases. So
for example, guys, on Demarai Gray situation, if you're the president of the JFF and you're trying to win, and you're trying to get the best players, you should be on top of that. It's no one has to tell you, well, where is this or what? No. You're saying, well, it's not my purview. It's the technical committee. You are the leader, and the soldiers who are going to go on the field are the most important parties, frankly, sometimes in your organization, because that's your product. If your product doesn't, Jay, you can wag your finger all you want. If
No,
you
let
don't have a product, you
keep
don't have a
talking.
business.
I got a different perspective. Go ahead.
If you don't have a product, you don't have a business. The players are your product. That's what you put on the field. Get the best product, and you'll be surprised everything falls into place. Sponsorship, support, fans' positivity. If you get the best players, you have the better outcome. The sponsors will come. The media will join you. The fans will be supportive. You will get opportunities to play against the better teams and generate revenues. You'll be surprised how it all works. So don't tell me that, I don't know about Demarai Gray. No. Go get the best players. Figure it out. Deal with the High Commission in London. Deal with the government here about the process. Immigration services. Set up a mechanism where a player want to come join you, believe they have the qualities. They don't think about, well, I got to go find my father's birth certificate, and I don't know who to go to. I got to pay for it myself. That's nonsense. Where's the process?
All right. So there's
Hold on there, Dre. Lloyd, Eubank Green. No, I answered all questions, but I didn't see a question from you.
Well, he sent a super chat.
Yeah, send a super chat. You get the question answered in the super chat. Put money on the table. As Cataract would say, put some money on the table. You get the question answered immediately. Because the questions that come through, it's hard to pick up every single question, frankly.
Yeah,
hold on. Mr. Green saying that we only answer specific questions. There are so many questions coming in. I'm actually using my cell phone, so I can't really go through all of them. I don't see any immediate question that I'm scrolling up. Big up yourself, Wade Nelson. No brain drain. Police never shut down the street thing. I don't see no questions from Green. Jerry, go. Oh, okay. He said, who is going to interview director of football, Donzel? I don't know.
I thought management was going to bring him on. Or Ricketts mentioned Donswell, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's part of. Okay. So
I spoke to him earlier in the year, but I think. Go ahead, Jerry. Go ahead.
So you're the boss, Ricketts case. You have a team that's designated to handle these type of communication with the players. Now they're supposed to report back to you about the process if there's any hiccups in the process. So if your team is handling that, then you designate them to handle that part of it. So if there's anything in the process that's holding up that needs your input for you to come in and intervene, then they would come back to you and tell you, hey, this is where we at, and I think you're going to have to make this extra step, or you have to sign off on this. And then that's when you come into play. But we reminded him about this because, remember, he's also into CFU also. Remember, he's a part of the CFU board now, so he got the whole Caribbean thing going on top of the JFF. See, that's why you're mute.
You have a product. His primary job is to run the JFF, not CFU. And he only assumes CFF role because of JFF, and his day job is most important. And frankly, if your product is the players, and if you say, you know what, Speed or whoever does who carry out the process of trying to get the passports and the citizenship, okay, how long does it take? Do I need to engage with anyone? What do you need? Report back to me in this timeline. It should take this amount of time. Or go source the information how long it's going to take. If you have any hiccups, let me know. And let's have these communication timeline about how this is. It's not rocket science. So him saying, I don't know. Well, we've been talking about Demarai Gray forever on this program. It's not yesterday we're talking about Demarai Gray or other players like Lewis Baker. So why wouldn't he know? If he thinks it's important, maybe he doesn't think it's important.
No, he knows it's important because he did say that he did iterate that if the player is important, yes, he'll get the communication process started and reach out to the player himself, as in the case of Demarai Gray. And then we say, Well, yeah, glad you touched on Demarai Gray. We're taking so long, but it's going in positive direction. It should be available by Mexico, and the president is optimistic about that. So
I hope Paul Hall
yeah.
wants him because we know some other persons may not have wanted him. So I hope Paul Hall wants him.
All right. We have a question up by Richard, but Cranky, check the private message because I really have to go in. As you know, it's family time, right? And I was someone just know.
So ask the audience if they want to talk more. So then we decide whether we close down or not.
Yes.
Do you guys want to talk more? Because Coach has to run. Dre and I could run it for a little bit. No more than half because it's still Boxing Day and I have a life also. So
So should Cranky and Dre continue, or we could just close the show here, and we can pick up on the weekend, and of course you'll be getting videos throughout the week. You know what I mean? What say you?
Fresh God is a lock shop, and Fresh God is the authority.
Okay. Fresh God's the lock shop. All right, but before we go, can we answer this last question here from Richard? To what extent could too many cooks spoil the broth? So be true. Don't fans respect and love a strong coach? Should Paul Hall follow a club Pep Tite or Sinatra and do things his way? Of course, the coach should do things his way. But what say you, gentlemen?
Yeah, he's the head coach. So I expect him to do his way and come in with a plan and bring it forth to the JFF and make sure he gets their full support.
I think it's a very good question, by the way, because you have to think about the culture of people who you're dealing with, because your method has to be able to work with the players you're dealing with and the administration you're dealing with. With a Pep work, which is dictatorial, he has the resume, he has the credibility, he can do whatever he wants, and he has the resources to walk away. So that's a very difficult one, and we know how we are as a people, and how stubborn we are, and how confrontational we are. So does the dictatorship work? We had a strong arm person in the role previously. That didn't work, maybe because of his competence or otherwise. I think he has to be his own man, whoever that is, and hopefully his method is successful. I like Klopp's style. I think Klopp is a great evaluator of talent. I think he's a man manager. He works along well, and he has a strategy. So he ticks most of the boxes. I don't see him as a dictator like Pep is. So he ticks most of the boxes, and nobody wants to deal with a dictator. At least I don't, anyway. You want to have a voice, and you want to make sure you listen to. And by the way, as I said before, players have ideas, assistants have ideas, and the statisticians have ideas, the analysts have ideas. You got to be able to listen, and always never stop learning, and incorporate all information in your repertoire to make informed decisions. So if I was to choose one, it'd have to be Klopp, but Hall has to know who he is, what he's about, and deploy and employ his method, and hopefully that's successful.
All right, so some people are saying another half an hour, but we're getting more closed down than the half an hour. So
yeah, close down, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll close the show, and really appreciate you people. I want Richard. You see the last question we asked Richard, more you send it to the coach's desk WhatsApp number. Send that question to the coach's desk WhatsApp number, and we probably can dissect it and see if we can turn it into a topic, or we can answer you from the number. I think that is
it's about strong coach, but most successful coaches are strong coaches. You have to be. Right? Yeah. You're doing a lot of different people, a lot of different mindset, a lot of different
personalities and
temperament. Yeah, you have to be a strong coach. All the coaches you mentioned right there are strong coaches.
Yeah, man. And again, big up to Stan Cranky, big up to Dre anyway who took the time out to be here. He had a giveaway, and we heard that CC won that giveaway. So that's a good look.
No, it's not a good look, coach. It's not a good look.
You better come up with Chelsea man.
Coach, instead of coach. Chelsea man to win. Coach, come on, coach.
And you know, so I want to first person jump over there today. I mean, that will get a quarter.
By the end of the night, I'm an erudite. By the end of the night, I'm an erudite. Big up yourself.
Right.
Coach,
Yeah,
so when I ask you a question, Coach, which is was Ali a strong coach?
Nah, I don't think so. Anyway, big up for yourself. Big up for yourself, people. Thanks again. Another show, another weekend triple treat. This is the last one for the year 2021. And trust me, it was good. Really appreciate everything that everybody says. We really appreciate every single person, every comment, whether good or bad. Big up a panelist, them quarrel on the panel, but at the end of the day, no disrespect, all of those things. You know what I mean? Big up to the callers on the show. Big up to every single person who made Coach's Desk possible. Big up to Coach Minzy as well. You know, you might forget big up to Stan Cranky, Dre, anyway. Just go and hold it until we meet again. Until next time, people, stay safe. Let me see if I can find the style and flavor.
How about them Cowboys?
Hey, Dre, you have to bring me in the NFL world.
I thought you played.
Yeah, man, the right team, man. They're not over
Your
your set,
style
them,
and your
man.
flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.